All right, welcome back to another episode of Middle-Aged Barbarians, Season 2.
Season 2, yeah. I'm Eddie.
I'm Eugene, and we are the Middle-Aged Barbarians.
That's who we are, yes.
We're still here in the new studio. It's still new. Yeah, feeling good.
Yeah,
Sounding silky.
Feeling cozy as well.
All right, so we got some news today. I'll share a little bit with you.
Sure.
We're celebrating.
What are we celebrating?
We are celebrating.
My birthday, I guess.
Oh, it's happy birthday.
Thank you.
Double celebration. We won't mention age, but
Middle-aged.
we're getting middle-aged. More middle-aged.
Yes.
So Eddie's birthday and Dungeons and Dragons' birthday.
50 years? 60 years?
50 years.
Oh my God.
More middle-aged than us.
A little bit. Not by much, though.
A little bit. How you guys been? Hope everything's good. Let's chit-chat. Before we get into the 50th anniversary, there's a couple of cool things that have been happening. I know the evil producer, he's always on top of like new stuff that's coming out and everything. And there's a couple of Kickstarters. I don't know if you've been paying attention or you know anything about them. They're like a bunch of Gary Gygax stuff.
Oh, so I'm guessing it's kind of old school revival, which is kind of our evil producer's favorite sort of genre.
Yeah. There's one that is literally old school revival. It's not less important, but it's the smaller of the two projects that I noticed. It's like a giant encyclopedia of a bunch of stuff that Gary worked on that they have archived. It's literally called, here I have the name written down, give me 1 second, I'll read it. Gary Gygax's World Builders Archive.
Oh, that sounds pretty awesome.
It's interesting, but it is something that they would really be into. It's from a company called Troll Lord Games, and it's like 7 books, a bunch of stuff. It's like from building cities and like thieves guilds and just a whole bunch of options, even like fauna, nature, how to build castles. There's a lot of stuff there.
Well, this is kind of Gary Gygax's original notes, or is this sort of a Christopher Tolkien situation which somebody made kind of new stuff out of a couple of notes?
No, I think this is like literally stuff that he had that they've been compiling.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're producing, it says 7 books, but obviously, Kickstarter, you get funded, you get extra money, you promise extra things, and they were up to maybe like 3 or even 5, 6 extra things besides these 7 books. It's like a huge thing. This one is still up to date. It's still being funded. I think it closes April 10th, so soon. And they're up to like $200,000.
So it's quite a bit.
It's not bad. But the bigger one, and this one I've seen a lot more hype for, it's being produced by his son, Luke Gygax, and a company called Alphinus Goo. I hope I said that right. And that one's up to like $635,000. Mm-hmm. And that one closed a couple days ago. So you can kind of guess when we're recording this. I mean, here in Mexico, that's 10 million pesos, dude.
That's a lot of money. That's a couple of houses.
That is a lot of money, man. And it's called Tomb of Gygax. It reminded me from what I saw in the trailers and the stuff that they were coming out, like an old school kind of dungeon crawler. It has to do with, like there's this wizard that lives in his tower, and apparently he's gone missing, and the wizard's son is hiring adventurers to look for him. But the tower where he lived in became like haunted, and like monsters were coming out and attacking everything nearby and all that. So it has to do with that. They mentioned something about a demon losing its eye. I'll probably lose my cred not knowing which demon it is, because they showed a drawing of it. But yeah, it's like a 6 to 8 level old school from what I get, like a dark fantasy with some humor and stuff like that. I think it's a lot like a homage to his dad, because I mean the names are from Tomb of
Classic stuff. Tomb of Horrors.
Tomb of Gygax. It's a play on his name, I'm sure.
Yeah, like Vecna's a play on Jack Vance's name.
So that one is really popular, and I mean it looks interesting. It looks kind of cool, and they have obviously the extended like rewards and all that stuff. There were even options if you paid a certain amount, you could become an NPC, and they gave you printable miniature files. I forget what the extension is for those things, but like different miniatures and extra cards and magic items and PDFs and books and stuff. There's a lot of stuff. And it looked kind of fun. So maybe
we'll play it in a bit and review it. That would be nice.
we'll have to get the producers to
pony up the cash, yes.
get their hands on a copy of the Tomb of Geisengax.
Both things, I mean, they're wealthy.
You could probably enjoy the archives more. That's not my thing, but
Yeah, I'd really prefer, morbid material. That's my sort of stuff. For reals.
before we get into the anniversary, what's up, man? Anything new? How you been?
I'm fine, thank you. A little bit sick at the moment. You probably can see it on camera that I'm a little bit dizzy, but save that, all good.
Celebrating too hard.
Party hard, like Andrew WK wanted to. That's an old school reference for the youngsters.
I don't know how that guy got popular, man. I could not stand his music.
So this party music.
I couldn't stand his music,
It's
man.
very, very good.
Because you're looking at the dude, and he's like this huge muscle beef dude, and he's singing this poppy rock stuff.
It's amazing. Contrasts. Humans live by contrasts.
Yeah.
It's like the barbarian who enjoys poetry. That's the sort of thing one likes.
Some savage haiku.
I guess so. Savage haiku, yeah. He paints with his battle axe. Stroke here, stroke there.
Quite the analogy.
Yeah. So that, playing a little bit. How about you? You had your campaign going on. How's it going?
Oh, yeah, we've had a couple of sessions.
Yeah, there were new players, which is very interesting.
Oh, man. I mean, I know we've talked about this in previous episodes, like how to deal with new players and all that. It is quite the challenge. I had forgotten how much I take for granted playing with people that know the stuff that we're dealing with, and then going back and actually diving into the basics and explaining how the dice work and like what backgrounds are for. The player's handbook gives out a bunch of options that honestly I don't know if you guys even pay attention to.
Of course not, because we know what we want.
Yeah.
Or we play old school and we ignore a lot of the newer stuff.
I have noticed I'm doing a couple of like modded house rules and stuff, and whatever. But like there's a part where they give you options for character traits, like what your character likes or what he doesn't like or what motivates him and stuff. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, don't worry about any of that stuff. You'll figure that out as we go along. I mean, even character alignment. Like, oh, what do I pick from a character alignment? I'm like, don't pick anything.
We'll see how your character
We'll
is.
figure out how chaotic and how neutral or evil you'll be.
Of course.
After session 2 or 3, man, when you start getting that murder hobo flavor and you want to...
Or you want to be the hero against the rest of the party, which has happened.
But it's been good. It's in spite of all that, I've been actually putting them through a ringer, let's call it that, because I have designed like the first level. I'm taking inspiration a little bit from, I think I mentioned it, a series called Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, of course.
Not the food part, which I love, but like the whole, this thing appeared and it's a multi-lever dungeon.
Like a whole ecosystem in one dungeon.
Yeah. And that, and I'm taking a little bit of influence from an old series of games that I love called Kingsfield.
Oh, which is the very old school.
Yeah, it's the precursor to what maybe a lot of you know as Dark Souls and Elden Ring, which was the last one that came out. DLC's coming out soon for Elden Ring.
They're actually related, or is it more like a spiritual sort of thing?
It's a spiritual successor, is what they call it, but it's the same. It's the same game company. It's FromSoft. So, the Kingsfield, the original ones. The first one only came out in Japan. And then the second one that was released in the States under the first name kind of like just disaligned all the numbers and stuff. But like the second one, which is the first one in the States, it's like this guy goes off to an island and he finds a corrupted sword. So I'm kind of using that that flavor, that kind of desolate feel to the dungeon and everything, and mixing the two in a way. So this first level was, and they were cussing me out by the end of the third session, because it was all hallways and doors and traps, and it's like you open the door, what do you see? You see a hallway that extends. So they have to walk down the hallway, and then I started playing a little bit with their paranoia, and not knowing if there was or not
anything
traps, and try to give them signs because I know they're new players. So when I knew there was a sequence of traps, the first hallway you see something that's already been activated. So you'll see like a broken trap, and that'll give you the hint that there's more stuff down the way. I had to pull my punches in a couple of fights.
Of course, new players.
Yeah.
No, not everybody can be like the evil producer and annihilate the party and be, oh, that's your problem.
Did they tell you about that?
Yeah.
And we were testing out some OG content that they want to make, and
they wiped out the party. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's their style. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the old school. You all died. Roll again.
Yeah. Oh, no worries. I have a backup sheet. It's the same thing, just a little bit different. It's a twin brother, but has black hair rather than blonde.
Your party seems to be needing a wizard. You look trustworthy. Want to join us? Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I love that, man. All right, so what were we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about my birthday. We talk a little bit about it. It doesn't matter to you guys. And Dungeons and Dragons' birthday, which is more important to us.
Dungeons and Dragons' birthday, the big 5-0. They have a lot of stuff planned out, man. A lot of stuff, and I looked into a couple of the things.
So the producer's going to get bankrupt buying it all for us?
I don't know. I doubt it. The good thing is that it doesn't all come out at once. But if the producer's looking to get us a nice gift,
the Lego set?
Yeah, the Lego set looks kind of cool, man.
It does look cool.
All right, well, let's try to go a little bit in order.
Yeah, sure.
They are revamping the core books.
Again.
Well, I mean, it's been 10 years.
Oh, well, yeah.
5th edition came out in 2014, so...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, time goes by quickly.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday when I started playing Pathfinder or 3rd edition.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been 10 years. It's not precisely like...
A new edition?
It's not a new edition. Some people call it a 5.5. Kind of
like 3.5, yeah.
Because I know there have been a lot of playtests with this another Unearthed Arcana,
yeah, of course,
leading toward the 1 D&D or D&D 1. I don't know what they call it. That could be interesting to talk about a little bit later. Try to get our hands on those and see what changes are coming. But basically, they're going to revamp the core books. They're going to put one out, I think maybe every 4 or 5 months. The first one is the Player's Handbook. Yeah, I mean, they're changing up the layout a little bit. There's going to be some tweaks to the classes, subclasses. For example, the Warlock Druid, they said, we're getting overhauled. What I understood is they're kind of mixing in the stuff from Tasha's and Xanathar's, which were those other 2 big books that came out.
To streamline the whole thing.
Yeah, kind of like compile mostly all the stuff into the same book. So that should be coming out toward September. So we've got some time still. And then the new Dungeon Master's Guide will come out. And they're supposedly redesigning it so it's a little more user friendly for newer DMs. Oh yeah, something. For example, I think the the Player's Handbook. I think they were putting the combat mechanics and certain rules and stuff at the beginning of the book instead of at the end. You know, usually they start off with like stat generation, yeah, your stats, your races or species, your classes, and all that. I think they're putting the combat and the game mechanics at the forefront, so you can read that first and have a general idea, and then.
That makes sense because I have a lot of, as you know, I play a lot of board games, so I have a lot of board games to make comparisons to, and a lot of times the best rule books, they start with. What do you want to do? What's the objective of the game? And then they tell you the mechanics, and then they go to like in depth on the whole thing. I mean, there are different approaches one can take to change this sort of stuff.
Yeah. So like the DM guide is going to get a little new overhaul and layout. They're going to have some more information on building campaigns, adventures, D&D multiverse, magic items and stuff, basic DM information. And that will be out sometime in November. November 12th was the date they had there. And then the last book, which is the Monster Manual, they're going to be adding more monsters. And I think it reminded me a little bit, I don't know if you remember, like the second edition Monster Manual.
Of course.
That they're going to bring back kind of like describing these monsters more as a actual part of the world, like with a little bit of background, or I forget how they had divided it, but there were like descriptions of their habitats,
of the ecosystem, the whole how they relate sometimes with other monsters, stuff like that. Like I don't know, like orcs taming all bears, for instance, which is not the case, but I mean that would be pretty cool. That's a pretty cool image. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna, from what I have here, they're gonna update like the CRs, the challenge ratings and stuff, add the lore, backgrounds, and it says here introduction of new organizational monster families. So I imagine they'll have like subsections in the book where they'll not just
like
go in
instance,
alphabetical order, but actually put all of them together.
Yeah, like the whole hobgoblin cultural things that some editions had.
Yeah, back when a hobgoblin and a goblin and an orc were all related to an extent. The bugbears.
The bugbears, yeah, they were part of the same kind of broad group. Yeah, family, and it was interesting. Yeah, thinking of them as a whole army, because you had like your bugbears as taskmasters, the hobgoblins as the strategic geniuses, goblins for cannon fodder. It kind of had a whole thing in there.
There was a whole system to it. And other than that, those are the 3 books that will be coming out, and they were nice enough to spread them out so you don't go bankrupt buying everything at once.
Of course, not everybody's has evil gains.
Books have gotten expensive, man.
How much do they cost now?
Well, dude,
$40? More? $50?
Yeah, they're like $65, $70 per book.
Yeah, I remember we paid like $30 for the Player's Handbook back in the day for third edition.
And I remember back when they were $15, $20. I mean, inflation, I guess, whatever, but it's been
middle-aged complaints.
Yeah. When you got to pay your electric bill and don't have to worry about getting miniatures and books and stuff, it's crazy. Whine the old man.
Speaking of electric bill, mine came like 10 times as much as last period. So I'm like, I'm gonna complain to the electric company. Makes no sense. But I had to pay it before. That's the process. You have to pay, even if they overcharge. You claim, and then they bonify you the difference, which is like
if you're lucky.
If they fail in favor of you, if you're lucky. But yeah, most likely, because this makes no sense.
Wow. I mean, it has been hot, but I don't think it's that.
Yeah, I don't have AC at home, which is the main expense one would have. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Makes no sense. Tell you. I'm thinking my neighbors stole electricity from us.
I heard actually a person that's close to the family actually had that issue.
That a neighbor stole electricity from them?
Yeah, and when the company got there, they said that the neighbor had accidentally hooked into their line. It was an accident. They were sorry.
Oh, that's nice of them. Yeah.
All right. Have them accidentally pay my bag bills. Anyway, there will be new adventures coming out. Exciting adventures. I think there's one that actually is already out. I'm not too sure. It's called Descent into the Lost Caverns of, and I cannot pronounce this worth a damn, Sochkanth. Here, read that, man. Sochkanth.
Oh. Sochkanth. That's how I would pronounce that. But I'm not aware of which cultural origin it has.
Sochkanthy.
Sochkanth.
You say that in a southern drawl. Get that song, can't you? Yeah, Descent into the Lost Caverns of Sochkanth. A bunch of these things, from what I'm looking at, is kind of like what you mentioned a little bit before. There's like an old school revival feel, and I think they're trying to get into that as well. Because
trying to cover both things. Still the new system with an old school feel.
Well, this was actually something from way back. This is actually from Gary Gygax, and it came out in 1982. So they're redoing it for the new rules and everything. So that's kind of cool. I know one that has one of the producers super excited is there's like this whole campaign based on Vecna Eye of Ruin, which should be coming out sometime in May. And that's like a whole campaign from level 1 to level 20. And it has to deal with Vecna himself.
Yeah, Vecna is a very cool character. You know how how the name came to be? How the origin of the name Vecna? I mean, a lot of you probably know the story, but it's based on a science fiction author called Jack Vance. And Vecna, it's a reordering of the letters. And he invented the idea that wizards forget the spells and they have to study every day. In honor of him, he wrote a book, which is, a series of books, which is called Tales of the Dying Earth. And it's very interesting because you can see, like, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons things came from there. For instance, Iron Stones, the idea you get stones that float and give you powers, they're also from him.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's not, rather than being like Tolkien-esque fantasy, it's like a long distant future where the magic has come back. And the Earth is dying because it's like a long time into the future. It's very cool.
What was the name of the books?
The Chronicles of the Dying Earth. That's the Dying Earth series. There are 5 of them. The first one is Chronicles of the Dying Earth. It's a short story collection. There's one called Rialto the Marvelous. That's the third one, and I forgot the title of the other ones. I read them all. I read them in Spanish, so I also kind of the names. I have them in Spanish in my head.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I know I had actually never heard of those books.
Yeah, you should check them out. I mean, and you can even check out some videos of people telling you what happens, or an audiobook. I mean,
yeah, I'd probably get an audiobook.
Audiobook would be the ticket. Yeah, the language is not something that you have to read because it's not that. He was a pop-out author. He died 101 years old, which is crazy in my opinion, if you ask me. And his last book he wrote when he was like 97 or something. Wow. He wrote a ton of books. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That's Eddie's recommendation for reading this month.
Yeah, you should check them out. You do check out Jack Vance's books. An American standard. Yeah, Americans do have some stuff to be proud of in literature. There are a lot of people underestimate how good American writers are. You have some very good writers.
Okay. And the last of the adventure stuff that they'll be coming out for the celebration is something called Quests from the Infinite Staircase. And I think it's also a compilation of like 6 classic adventures that they're revamping.
Is it related to something Planescape-like, or what's the deal with Infinite Staircase?
I don't think it has to do with Planescape.
It does sound like Gary Gygaxian, but I forget where it comes from.
Yeah, I think there were older adventures. And there's something called Tales from the Yawning Portal, which I think is also...
Yeah, it's probably another adventure.
That was revamped before, and they're doing that again.
Like a Tomb of Horrors, something like that. But
so that's like the new modules and stuff that will be coming out. This is kind of cool. They're coming out with a book, like a history compilation of D&D called The Making of Original Dungeons and Dragons from 70 to 76. And it's going to be like artwork and a bunch of stuff about how the game was developed and the history. And that's, I think, already on pre-sale on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken, if you want to pick it up. I'll look over at the producer, shyly. Because that's kind of cool. It's a really, really, really thick red book.
Yeah, it's very interesting to read those books from behind the scenes because a lot of the times, a lot of that info you cannot find it online, or at least not properly ordered. Because sometimes there is, but it's a mess, and you have to go through archives. Yeah.
So I think that's coming out sometime in June. So I think that's already for sale. You can pre-order that. And now we come upon the more interesting tidbits and oddities.
The Lego set.
Of the celebration. We'll get to the Lego set soon enough. Before that, well... All right, so you guys remember the previous episode, we were kind of bashing into celebrity D&D and like the canceled series for, oh my God, Joe and, what was it? Dragonlance series. Sorry about that. And kind of like how he's always been talking and never coming out with stuff.
He's coming out with stuff?
Supposedly there's going to be an official D&D documentary. And he is either hosting or co-hosting with some other people. And he mentioned this, I think, last year, at Game Packs or at one of these gaming conventions and stuff, and almost everything on the list that I found of stuff that they're doing for their celebration, I found some sort of evidence. I think this and the shoe Converse deal, which I didn't find anything about the Converse shoes, at least not on their webpage, were the only two things I found nothing on. So I don't know, like we mentioned, if the producer company being sold off, I think it was to Lionsgate or something, and
It's messed up everything behind the scenes. Yeah.
but I see no, like the newest news I could read is just different articles mentioning it within the celebration, and then the ones mentioning it a year ago. There's no release date. I can't find anything. If you guys know anything, let us know. Write a comment. I'd love to see it. But again, I mean, and I'm not hating on the guy. I don't know him. He doesn't care about me. I don't care about him. But it's just weird that, again, his face pops up and there's no substance behind it. There's nothing there.
He was great on the Pee-wee movie, though.
Bro, come on. So there's supposed to be a documentary coming out, which is like a real big. I mean, I'm imagining it's like the Red Book, and it's like all this stuff.
The version for
video, which would be cool. I'd love to see it, but I can't find anything on it. So I'll have to keep looking into it, I guess, and figure it out. The Lego set. Oh, I sent you guys a link. Did you look at?
It looks very cool.
Yeah.
And it looks like it does a lot of stuff, not just kind of looks like a mini board game of sorts.
It is. It's pretty cool. It's like, I don't know if you guys, I know when I was kids, I used to love the Lego Castle series, and you'd build these huge castles and forts and towers and stuff, and you'd have the little knights. So imagine that, but like with the tavern, a big wizard tower. There's like an underground dungeon part. There's a part in the forest. It's like these 4 individual pieces that you can put together into. I mean, it's pretty. A little incohesive maybe, but altogether it looks pretty. And it comes with little mini characters that you can choose. It's like the wizard, the fighter, the rogue, and you can even pick, and a cleric. There's a dwarven cleric, which I thought was great because he was tiny. You can change their sexes. I mean, they have the different hair pieces and some things to change, so you can identify.
Customize them a little bit
as you want. It comes with a booklet because it actually works as an adventure module. So there's rules for you to play and interact as if they were your minis and play with people. I think it's up to 4 people. And there's hidden NPCs and there's monsters. It actually comes with some pretty cool. There were like 2 little mimics. I think one was a chest and one was a mimic bed that were in the tavern. There's a big red dragon. It looks pretty. I don't know how cool it actually is when you're manipulating it. One of the guys that I saw reviewing it had a couple of grievances with like the head weight. Like it would always go down or something, but still it looks awesome. It's a pretty big red dragon. And something that I was a little envious about was people that managed to pre-order it. I think they were going to get in, what was it? It was like a big mimic Lego set, which is awesome.
Cool.
There was a little displacer beast. There was a beholder.
All the classic monsters.
Yeah, but like in your fun little Lego. I think there was even like a kobold or a dragonborn little character with this little dragon head. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, again, middle-age problems, stuff is expensive and you got a lot of bills, but it was like $360 or $370 for the set. I mean, if you got the cash, it's probably really worth it. And I don't know if you know, they opened a Lego shop here where we live.
Yeah, I've went there already. Isaac got lost there. I mean, it's not that big, but he was playing some things. Isaac's my son, obviously. He was playing some stuff, and he's really, really tall. And I can keep an eye on him easily because he's tall, but he knelt down to play with Legos, and he got lost. I lost him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was scary. But eventually I found him. It was all...
Yeah, because they have a couple of like little stations in the store, I think, where you can make your own figure.
Yeah.
And there's like one with loose pieces. And here where we live, I mean, I'm sure it's the same everywhere, or most everywhere. When there's something new, everybody's there.
Yes, indeed.
They opened up a coffee shop, a Juan Valdez coffee shop.
Which is the more ordinary thing ever, yeah.
It's packed.
I know, man.
We drove by there, I think, 3 or 4 weekends in a row, and there were people out the door. And I'm like, dude, this is coffee.
Yeah,
I want to try it, but not with that many people in there.
yeah, man. No, the Lego shop, it was packed as well, and they have sold like crazy.
Sure.
Remember that I showed you the
Dune?
The Dune set?
Yeah.
They only have one copy left. They had like 10 2 weeks ago, and I went this weekend and they only have one copy left. It's just like freaking crazy.
Well, we mentioned before, we're not in the States, we're in Mexico. So here, like at the shops, Lego and stuff, we do get some things. But this shop had like Disney exclusive stuff, which was awesome. I mean, me and my wife are huge Disney buffs, and we almost walked out there with like it was a Maleficent little pot, the brick heads.
Yeah.
Maleficent, there was Stitch. There was a bunch of cool stuff that we liked. Moana sets, that was something I had never seen.
Yeah, I ended up giving. They had a Lego copy of the Great Wave of Kamigawa by Hokusai, which is like a classic. It's not a painting; it's a woodcut piece. And I kind of gave my whole art history class to the guy there, and he remembered because when he saw me last week, he said, "Yeah, oh, you're the guy that told." Yeah, I'm the professor. That's me.
I think that one uses like just the little circle dot pieces, and they reproduce the whole thing. The whole art piece.
It looks. It should be pretty cool. I mean, I hadn't seen it ensembled, but yeah, it looks from the box.
Well, they had one there on display, didn't they? Or was it just the box? I don't remember.
They had the box. What they had in display was the ornithopter and a couple other things.
There was a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of Harry Potter fans out there. The Gringotts Bank was amazing. I didn't even look at how much that thing was, man.
No, I think those were sold out last week. I didn't see them last week.
Well, we went like 2 days ago, Sunday.
Oh, maybe they restocked
and
them.
it was there. And it was huge. And it has like this big dragon perched on the top of the bank. And the way it goes down into the vaults.
God damn.
I'm too poor for these things, dude.
Yeah, like I told a friend, those sort of adult toys are like the porcelains our parents used to collect. I don't know if your mom collected porcelains. They did, right?
I remember, and I think we have a figure, like the Precious Moments. I think they were called.
That same thing, yeah.
Which were like those really simple-faced, pretty dolls, like not dolls. They were ceramic figurines or porcelain figurines. We actually have the Precious Moments, the newlywed Disney couple. Oh, so it's the bride and the groom. And then he has the Mickey top hat, and she has the ears and the veil and stuff. Oh, that's
cute.
That's the only thing we got.
Yeah, no, but my mom, she had like a ton of Yadro.
Oh my gosh.
Yadro porcelains. Those things were expensive. And when she tried to sell them, nobody wanted them because the only old people got them.
I mean, I'm sure you could probably find an online buyer or something.
Yeah, we eventually did find somebody who bought most of them wholesale to resell probably because... Yeah, because it was messy. But yeah, she had like 30 or 40 of those things. Wow. Crazy, yeah.
And they complain when we had little minis.
Yeah, no, a friend got the new special Final Fantasy VII Part 2, I think. It came with a giant Sephiroth sculpture. Yeah, he paid like 15,000 pesos for that.
That's close to $700.
Just about. Yeah, because he paid more because of taxes.
I think it's more because the dollar went down a bit.
Yeah. He paid. Yeah, and he paid. That happened because he got stuck at customs, so he paid an extra fee. Yeah, welcome to Mexico, man.
Speaking about things that are really out of my price range, at least, they're coming out with a couple of new miniatures from the brand WizKid. But they got a couple cool things. I mean, I saw they had like a Ravenloft, like a whole Ravenloft set of NPCs and little minis and stuff like that. But they're coming out with a couple of them. I think one was like a beholder, and then there was like a red dragon, and there was like the actual mini. But then they had a statue which was like over 2.5 feet tall, and it was pretty cool. But again, I mean, we can probably get one. We should get one for the set. We can get the producer
it would
to
look
buy
pretty
it.
nice here behind us.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Or like, have you seen the Tiamat they have at the mall that costs like 35,000 pesos?
Yeah, I saw that. Who's selling that?
I don't know who's buying that. That's insane. I mean, I want it, but yeah, it's freaking crazy.
Let's convert cost. $35K Mexican.
That's about $2,000, $3,000.
Yeah, be about $2,000 for a Tiamat statue, but it is pretty.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, very big, very large.
So we'll put that on our list.
Yeah, we'll have some requests for.
We have the Lego set, we have the Red Dragon statue, and the Tiamat. You can have the Red Dragon, or the Tiamat. I'll let you have the Tiamat.
Oh, that's nice of you. Yeah.
Or it could be behind me, and you can look at it.
Yeah, that sounds better.
So they're coming out with some Whiz Kid brand
the figurines and the miniatures.
It's one big figurine and then a couple of miniatures celebrating the 50th anniversary.
And I'm guessing third party, obviously some third party producers are going to produce some stuff as well.
No doubt. I had mentioned the Converse shoes. I had read that they were coming out with the special edition Converse shoes. I found nothing. What I did find, which I thought was kind of cool, it was another Gygax kid called Lucian. He has a brand apparently called G20. I have a couple shirts, some merch, and a couple of different sneakers. And he has a couple, I think, like 2 models. They're not related to the 50th celebration. I mean, I just thought it was kind of funny that I found it. You can obviously go like on Etsy. There's a bunch of people that can personalize like Converse type sneakers and stuff that you want, or Air Force Ones and all that, and just, design your own shoe. But he has like a Red Dragon sneaker and then another one that's like an elf fighting with something. I forgot what it was. There's like a blue and a red one, and they're kind of cool. And they had a couple nice shirts. But other than that, I could not find anything on the Converse. Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, speaking of that collecting T-shirts and sneakers sounds like our parents collecting ties.
Ooh.
I remember my dad. We live in a very tropical area, so ties are very useless here.
Yeah.
But my dad had like 50 ties, like really nice silk ties. It made no sense for him to have so many.
But he has them, and no one could take that away from him.
Yeah, that is true.
Dude, I collect myth cloth. Or I used to collect the myth cloth, the figurines.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to have to find out whoever bought your mom's Yadro and sell some of those off so I can buy one of these.
Oh, yeah, that thing be expensive. And if I'm not mistaken, you still have them in the box as well.
No. I enjoy mine. I have them out of the box, which I know a lot of people are going to maybe cringe a little bit because they're getting dusty, and I don't care. I have them out on display. I enjoy looking at them.
A little bit.
No, and my son is forbidden to touch anything on that top shelf. Yeah, because now, man, he's gonna ruin that stuff.
Yeah, I had a friend who always bought 2 of them, one to keep on the box and one to enjoy on his little nice glass case, so they don't get dusty. And he'd like occasionally just open the thing a little bit, just
smell them,
close the case again. Yeah, and his daughter the same. She was forbidden to go on the.
Oh, no. Do you like collecting stamps?
Stamps. Well, from very specific things, maybe. I'm still trying to get my hands on the stamps there were commemorative stamps for Ursula K. Le Guin, a very good science fiction author.
Well, then you might be interested because they are also coming out with a set of commemorative D&D stamps.
Oh, I'll have to get my brother-in-law to get them for me.
Yeah, check them out. I'll try to find out an image.
Yeah, I'll get him. I'll have him get them to me. Yeah, he lives in the States, so. Oh, well, your sisters live there as well, so that's.
Yeah, I can get them. So supposedly they will be selling like a whole set of different stamps with familiar art and probably some new pieces. It says 20 individual stamps, and I don't have a date though, so we'll have to check that out.
We'll have to keep, because I kind of missed my mark on the Ursula K. Le Guin stamp because, I heard the announcement and I noticed that it was they were selling them like a year after they started selling them, so I couldn't get my hands on them on the primary market, so I have to get them on aftermarket. I don't know. Well, I'll get my brother-in-law to work on that.
I did not know you collected stamps. I was actually joking.
Yeah, I know you were, but no, I don't collect stamps per se, but that stamp I wanted.
Something I can probably get my hands on, because I will be traveling to the States shortly, in a couple weeks, are D&D branded Pop-Tarts.
Oh, that sounds...
sugary?
Well, I don't know. What does... that sounds like Delicious in Dungeon. Like, Displacer meat Pop-Tart.
That would be interesting, but no. I know they came out with some a couple years ago called Good Berry flavor.
We like the spell, of course.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to do the same kind of deal. I don't even know if I'll find them, but if I do, I'll make sure to bring some here and we can try them.
Yeah, I think the producers do have a kitchen in the studio, so that'd be nice. As toaster.
Dude,
You don't toast them?
depending on how hungry I am, usually not.
No, I cannot eat them untoasted.
You don't eat raw Pop-Tarts?
No, never. That's abominable. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I found here the other day? Sorry, we've been diverting all over today.
Yeah, it's cool.
Have you ever tried toaster strudels from Pillsbury?
I know of their existence. I have not tried them.
I saw them the other day here at the freezer section.
Local freezer.
At the Cheddarawi Select.
I'll check it out. Yeah, do bleep that, producers.
Not a sponsor, whatever.
Not a sponsor.
No.
Yeah, like they're gonna come here.
Hey man, who knows, man? Maybe we can get big supermarket money into the show.
Yeah, but are they similar to actual strudel? Because I have had strudel.
No, it's more just like a jam cream filled, like a fluffy pastry kind of thing that you toast.
Oh, it's not like actual strudel.
No.
Yeah,
No,
because
but they're good. I mean, I like them because you have that, and then it comes with a little packet with the frosting that you can put on top.
Oh, I've seen them like in cartoons or something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, have you ever tried those canned cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, those I have tried. It's similar.
It's the same kind of frosting, just in little individual packets.
Oh yeah. That's a heart attack for me, dog. I don't know. I don't know if I should have that. Yeah.
Oh, we can share one if you want.
Yeah, I'll probably have a bite or cut like a little bit, like I used to make fun of my brother for doing, but he's like 10 years older than me, so everything that's gonna happen to me, I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah. Well, that's the path we're heading.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically it for like a bunch of the stuff. I mean, it is a lot of stuff you take into consideration. I think it's kind of cool. There's a couple of interesting things there. I don't know. I mean, other than the stamps.
Yeah, it doesn't actually sound cash grabby, which is nice.
No.
It does sound like they're trying to actually do some interesting stuff. And like I said, probably it's going to be complemented with some other third-party content and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, we would have to kind of work over the producers to at least get our hands on one of those adventure settings.
A couple of things, yeah, and do a little test. And
that tomb of Geisengak sounds pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, they're probably going to get them themselves. It's old school. That's their jam.
Let's see. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
That's pretty much it for today. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed our rambling because that's what we're here for.
And well, happy birthday, D&D. Happy birthday, Eddie.
Thank you.
As always, if you have any comments, if you know anything about the D&D documentary, please.
Or the sneakers.
I am a size 12 US.
13.
There you go. Let us know. The conference page only had stuff that goes up to like a size 10.
Yeah, dude, it's a hassle to get shoes for me.
And we're not even that,
We're not abnormally tall. We're not Shaquille O'Neal, no.
No, man, we're not rocking 14, 15, 16 size feet. It's just 12, man.
Yeah, they assume everybody in Mexico is like super short. Yeah.
No, but I'm talking even on the US Converse page.
Oh, for reals?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Maybe it was just bad luck, or maybe I was looking somewhere I wasn't supposed to be looking, but...
Yeah, no. It's also a problem for me because there are a couple of big and tall size pages, but their sizes are kind of
not big and not tall.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how long the shoes are actually are. So if I bought those shoes, I probably would have to return them if they didn't fit. It's a mess.
I'll pain in the butt. Anyway, comment, like, subscribe. Let us know if there's anything else that we should be looking out for with this 50th celebration. And
as always,
remember, raid responsibly. And we'll see y'all next episode. Take care.